How to make your green pool swim ready in just 1 week. Watch me, I will show you. Before you start cleaning your swimming pool, you need to clean your deck. It goes without saying that you need to summarize your swimming pool and get the pump and the filter up and running. Remove all the plugs. Once you clean your deck, then you can go ahead and clean everything that floats on the top of the pool with a net. So the way it goes is you clean your deck, then you clean the surface of the pool, and then you can get to vacuum and remove everything from the bottom of the pool. There are quite a few different ways to vacuum your swimming pool. Obviously, as a swimming professionals, we have an equipment that you may not have. What we're going to use today is a portable vac, which is basically a regular pool pump that we run hoses to and from. So for those of you that do not have a deck pump like I do, which obviously most of you don't have it, what you can do is you may use a waste option if you have especially a sand filter, or if you have a DE filter. You will vacuum all the trash from the pool right onto the street, and that's what we are doing today. We want to remove all the dead algae and all the trash from the very bottom of the pool and not run it through the filter. We're just going to shoot it right into the ditch. So deck pump, and I think we're almost ready to go. So let's do it. And just to show you, within, let's say, 3 minutes, that's the difference that we already made with vacuuming the trash out. There's still some lines, as you can see, that we might have to redo. But just to quickly show you the difference between the vacuum part of the pool and the really dark unvacuumed part of the pool. So next, and very important step, you need to test the water chemicals, okay? Especially pH, that's what we care most about right now. Obviously this pool has no chlorine, it's green. It's been closed for 8 months. So I don't test for anything else pretty much today besides pH. And I'll tell you why. Very often when pool is green as this one, pH tends to be high. When I mean high, at least 7.8, but usually 8.0 or as high as 8.6. And if pH is as high as 8.0 or higher, chlorine strength becomes diminished at high pH. So pH 8.0 and higher reduces the power of your chlorine. We don't want that. How high is it? 8.6 or more. So we need to add muriatic acid. Muriatic acid or dry acid or anything that lowers pH level will have to be added today, right away. And once we add that, we're gonna wait a little bit, and then we can add our chlorine shock. Chlorine shock, it's a chlorine and granular form. It's a powder chlorine, again referred by most as shock. So once we lower pH to closer to 7.2, 7.4, then we can dump all the chlorine we want. All right, let's do it. Since we do have to add muriatic acid into the pool because we have a high pH, I suggest you wear a good mask and some type of goggles or glasses to protect your eyes. Just if you wonder, I added 3/4 of a gallon of acid. Some of you may need nothing, some of you may need half gallon. Some of you, if you have a pretty large pool with high pH, you may need entire gallon. So I just put 3/4. We have a lot of those little guys in here. And they need to go. They don't belong here. You see that? Unless you like to swim with little froggies. We need to add chlorine, aka shock. How many pounds? Well, that kind of a question and the answer may vary. This one, we're gonna hit it with 10 pounds initially, and we'll see what happens. Some pools may need 5 pounds. Some pools may need 15 pounds. It depends how green is your pool, how large is your pool. Is it a liner pool? Is it a fiberglass pool? Is it concrete? Is it painted? So for this pool, which has roughly 25,000 gallons of water, and as green as it is, I will hit it with 10 pounds initially. Next step, brush entire pool. Algae hates chlorine, and algae hates when you brush them. So this is exactly what we are going to do. We are going to brush the algae. Because that's what we do, right? We try to get rid of the algae, not make them stay. You should try to brush your entire pool towards the floor drain. Most pools have a drain at the very bottom. It's called main drain or floor drain. And you should try to brush the entire pool towards that drain, so all the dirt can get sucked in and it will go into the filter. If you have a painted pool or liner pool, obviously do not use metal brush. If you have just plastered pool that is terribly stained with algae or covered with algae, you can use metal brush. I'm using a new nylon soft brush because this pool is painted. One of the very last few steps, it's cleaning the top of your pool again with a net. A lot of things probably floated up to the surface. We have some leaves, we have some baby frogs. Yep, they came up to the surface, whether you believe it or not. And we have to clean the very surface, and we are almost done, for today at least. So here it is, day one done. Pool was vacuumed, brushed, chemically treated, pump and filter up and running. We will wait probably 3 to 5 days before we come back over here. We need for the cloudness and everything else settle down, drop to the bottom. No pool robots, no pool cleaners allowed right now. Just let the filtration run, backwash your filter. If you have to clean filter like cartridges, clean them probably tomorrow. But if not, just frequently backwash. Once we come back in 5 days, it's going to be ready for another vacuuming, water adjustment chemically. And probably 7 days from now, you can swim. So Viking Aquatics, welcome to my world. Four days later, I'm back. Pool is a little bit milky, but that's okay. I'm going to vacuum all the trash from the floor to waste. In my case, actually, I'm going to use a deck pump that takes the water, shoots it outside of the pool. You don't have a deck pump, vacuum to waste if possible. If you are unable to vacuum to waste, you can vacuum through your filters. Just remember, once you finish vacuuming today, you will have to remove the filters from the filter tank, or if you have a DE filter, And you're gonna have to pressure wash it, or just with the garden hose if you have a good pressure, and you will have to degrease it most likely. So vacuuming two ways today, testing chemicals, adding chemicals. That's no bueno. First things first, I just cleaned the deck with the leaf blower, which is always the first step. Cleaning deck is always the first step. Once the deck is clean, then I'm jumping on cleaning the surface. I'm using a very fine net made by Pro Tough. It's called 17-inch sealed fine mesh pool net. It's the only net that I use and the only pool net that I recommend. When vacuuming, please keep in mind that you need to be slow with it. You do not want to disturb any of the dirt that is already sitting at the bottom of the pool, because we want to keep it at the bottom of the pool, and that's the only way that you can actually vacuum it out. Once you disturb anything that was sitting at the bottom and things will start to float, then you will not be able to vacuum it today until all this trash settles down at the bottom again. So when you vacuum, whether that's a waste vacuuming or regular vacuuming through your filter, go slow, relatively slow, so you vacuum everything that there is without disturbing it. You can start from the shallow end and go towards the deep end, or you can actually go the opposite. I don't think it really matters which way you go first. Time for brushing. The only brush that I'm using and I recommend is called Sweep Ease. It's on, they sell it on Amazon. I will put the details in the description. The brush has such a shape that helps you easier to brush walls and sticks onto the walls easier than the typical basic brush. So the way we brush pools typically is we brush from the shallow end towards the deep end. Brush the tiles and the walls first. At least that's what I do. So I start from the very top of the pool wall and I brush the tiles, loosen up everything there is. And I know you already cleaned the surface. There's a lot of stuff floating again because it just got freed from the wall, but it is what it is. That's what you have to do. So again, clean the tiles first, and then clean the walls. Next step, test your chemicals. The better testing kit you have, the better it will be, more accurate. I do not like those $10 strips that people use, 9 out of 10. And well, it's better than nothing, I like to say, but it's pretty close to nothing. Those testing strips for $10 from your local pool store are almost worthless. They're crazy inaccurate. And it's very hard to gauge what amount of chemicals you have in your pool. Last thing today is adding chemicals. I tested everything I could. Pool has low pH, it's 7.0 and almost no alkalinity. So we are going to add baking soda. Baking soda, as most of you probably know, it's an amazing product in a lot of areas that you can use in. Works magic in the pool business. You need to increase your alkalinity and stabilize your pH. Baking soda is your place to go. So I like to just throw this at the very deepest part of the pool. The bottom floor drain will suck it up. Okay, so that's there. Sometimes you have to push it with the brush towards the very floor drain so it gets sucked in and distributed throughout the filtration system. I would just hit it with the brush. Baking soda is in the pool. I will add just 3 pounds of chlorine. This pool is cloudy also because there's no chlorine. All the chlorine that I dumped here just 4 days ago got eaten up to kill the germs, the algae, and whatever else there was in the pool. So 10 pounds, literally 4 days ago, all gone. 3 pounds today. I always mix it with water and dilute it first, so then I don't end up throwing granular pieces of chlorine at the bottom of the pool. Some people with painted pools may get discoloration or stains, so I don't want any of those dramatic phone calls where people call and accuse me of messing up their plaster, messing up their liner or painted pool. So dilute the chemicals, and then you can pour it out. Whatever there's left, all the granular pieces, I like to pour in a skimmer with the pump running. So I turn the pump on, have the skimmer on, I pour it in, and all the granular, undissolved chemicals get sucked in through the skimmer. There's not much of it, so it will not kill your pump, it will not kill your filter. It's gonna be all good. Last but not least, it's a water clarifier. I had a lot of luck with those. They do help make your water less cloudy. So I just walk around the pool and I pour it in. Usually a bottle like this will do the trick. I expect this pool within 24 to 36 hours to become perfectly clear and just beautiful. And that's pretty much it. If you have any good comments, leave them below. If you have any suggestions, hit me up. I'm interested in hearing some great ideas. But here it is. Pool will be swim ready tomorrow, definitely. I will leave the pump running 24/7 for next maybe 3 days. And after that, the pump is gonna probably run 12 hours a day, but not less than that. And enjoy the season, enjoy your swimming pool, and I hope my video helped you vacuum your pool. All right, see you on the next one. Oh, hey, sorry, one more thing. If you liked the video and it helped you a lot, if you don't mind, subscribe and like. That would help me a lot too. Thank you.